At least $4 billion will be needed to compensate survivors of institutionalised child sexual abuse. That's the estimate of the Royal Commission, which says the bulk of that money should come from the institutions responsible for the abuse. It's also suggesting victims get a direct apology and psychological care for life. Deborah Rice reports.
The personal price paid by victims who lost their childhood to sexual predators can never be calculated, but a figure is finally being put on a payout to them.
The total cost of redress nationally would be in the order of $4.378 billion.
It's a victory of sorts.
We lost our childhoods and the nation needs to be accountable.
The Royal Commission's model assumes there are around 65,000 survivors eligible for an average of $65,000 each, with maximum payments up to $200,000. The cost would be borne by the state institutions and the private organisations, charities and churches responsible for the abuse.
And if they need to sell assets, then so be it.
The state and federal governments would have to cover the gap where those entities no longer exist. Many survivors want one independent national scheme.
When they've been abused in a state-based institution, it's very difficult for them to trust a state response.
The Catholic Church says it's on board.
The days of the Catholic Church investigating itself are over. The need for a national scheme is crucial.
But the Royal Commission's figure is only an estimate, and it's now calling for public input into the formula. As well as the money, it's suggesting a direct apology from the institutions at fault and psychological care for life. Also up for discussion is whether to reverse the onus of proof. So the institution has to prove it took reasonable care of the child instead of the survivor having to prove they were abused.
By holding institutions financially responsible for exposing children to danger, they will finally stop that behaviour because nothing to date has made them stop.
The Royal Commission plans to report on the issue by mid-year. Deborah Rice, ABC News.